Hello, today we're doing TryHackMe's Willow capture the flag, so we'll just copy the IP address. So we'll set the IP address, and then we'll do an Nmap scan, and then we'll set the IP address down here too, and we get 80, 22, 111, and 2049. 2049 is for NFS file share, so we'll just do Showmount -E and then the IP, and then we get a mountable share called failsafe. So we also had port 80. So let's just curl that real quick and see what that does. And we get this giant string of text. So let's copy this real quick. And then we'll open up CyberChef. Paste this in here in the input, and then do from hex. And then it says, hey Willow, here's your SSH private key, -- you know where the decryption key is. And you get this giant thing of numbers. So let's copy all these numbers. Leave out the rest of the sentence. Just copy that, and then we'll paste that into, just make a file and call it num or whatever you want to call it, and just paste those into it because they're all going to be in one line, and just save that. We'll need that for later, but let's do the mount this share first. So to do that, you need to make a directory in the MNT. I already have one. So I have it called NFS. So there's nothing in there. So if you just make directory in FS or whatever you want to name it, it doesn't have to be that, but just put it in the MNT file. So then after that, you'll just do sudo mount -T for type, and it's going to be NFS, and then just do the O flag, and then no lock. So if the room drops or something, you can drop the connection and it's not stuck with you. IP, and then just a colon, and then the name of the share. So that's failsafe, and then the name of our share. So that's MNT-NFS, and then type in your password. Oh, what the heck did I type in wrong? Oh, that's why. There we go. It's supposed to be a colon, not a semicolon. So now if we change directory into NNT-NFS, we see that there's RSA keys, so let's cat that. And we get public key and private key. So let's just copy this for now. And we'll paste this up here. And let's change directory out of there, and then let's unmount. So just do a sudo umount -L, and then MNT-NFS, and then it'll unmount, and then you can just remove that if you don't need it. All right, so now we have a private key and the SSH key. So now we need to separate these numbers that we got into number with a space, or number with a comma and then a space, so we can handle it with Python. So to do that, we're just going to use sed dash capital E space single quote S dash and then 2 brackets colon space. So we're just taking the space and putting a what's it called? A comma after it and then another space. So and then we're doing that. So it's just a comma and then space G and then the name of the file that we had, num.txt. Sed E expression char18 unterminated S command. What the heck? Oh, that's why. Forgot the trailing semicolon. There we go. Now it prints it all out in something we can use. So if you do that, you can use this in your own script. I'll put my script in the description minus these numbers because that would take up too many of the spacings for the YouTube channel. So you just do this command with the numbers and then copy these and then put it in the script. And I already have the script right here. And this is it. So it's pretty much just your shebang and then ciphertext equals and then this is in brackets. All this numbers are in brackets all the way down and then in brackets and then you just put the numbers from here that you got, your D for private because this one, so that goes for D, and then your N is this one, which is also this one, and then just this final little bit of code right here. And when you run that, you got to make it executable first. So, but when you run it and redirect it into ID RSA, you will have to use John, SSH to John. On the ID RSA and then put that into hash.text and then use John on that. So it's just John and then the hash file and then word list equals and then rocku.text, wherever your rocku is. Using default input code, loaded one SSH password, no passwords left to crack. Okay, well, I had already cracked that, so I just removed the pop file, so that's where it stores all your pre-cracked ones. So if you run it again, all I did was delete it. So now it does show it, because before, see, all I did was I did it, and then it said it was already there, so I found where the pop file was in my, and then deleted it. So there's nothing funny there. You know, all I did was remove the John pop file. So once I did that, it shows that it isn't actually cracked. So we do have the password. There's no funny business going on there. So we have Wildflower. Now we just need to SSH in. So we need to chmod 600 the ID RSA and then we just SSH in, SSH. Since this is an old machine, you might have to use this flag, pub key, because if you do it the regular way, it's going to spit an error for like not being the right encryption. Accepted. Rhythms equal plus SSH dash RSA dash I ID RSA, and then Willow, since that's the name of this machine, at IP. Command line bad key type plus, oh, I'm not a typo. Cannot resolve hostname IP. What is going on? Another stupid little typo. Gotta put the $sign. There we go. Yes. And then enter passphrase. That was wildflower. And we get it. So now we're in. We can see what's here. And there's a user JPEG. So, or I'm assuming that's would be the flag. So let's use scrape to copy that. So on our side, do SCP. Make sure that the IP address is set still. And then do SCP. And then we got to do the same thing up here from up here. So let's just save ourselves some time and copy the whole thing from here. The one that we know is right. That's not the right one. This is the right one. And just paste this down here. And then we're just going to put a colon and then the home directory. And then Willow. And then user.jpg. And then we're just going to do a period to pull to, our home directory. And then we're going to enter wildflower. And now we should have user JPEG. So let's just do open user, and we get the flag. I can't copy this beneath the weeping willow tree. So it's right there for you to read it on here. It's not easy to copy off of a picture, but it's there. So I'm going to close this out. And then we need to go back over here. And we just do sudo L, C for privilege escalation. And we can do bin mount onto the dev directory wildcard. So if we just do LSLA onto dev, and then look at all these things. There's one right here that sticks out called hidden backup. So let's mount to that. So to do that, we just need to do mkdre and then temp and then whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it loot, and then just do chain command and then sudo bin mount and then to the dev, since we can go any of those, and then hidden underscore backup, and then where we're going to mount to. So that would be our temp back loot. And then we can just change directory into temp loot and we get creds, so cat creds, and it says root and willow, so let's copy the root password. Need the word, dang it, come on now. There we go. Copy that, and we'll put it up here just in case. So now if we just do su root and then paste the password, we get root, and then we can cat root. And then we get, it says this would be too easy, don't you think? I actually gave you the root flag some time ago. You've got my password now. Go find your flag. So the only thing that we've gotten since then is the picture. So if we just go back over here and we just do echo dash in, and then the password into pass.text, and then just use Stegseek on that picture. So just do Stegseek -sf user.jpg, and then -wl for word list, pass.text, and then you get user JPEG out. So then you just cat that, and you get find a red rose on the grave. So there's our root flag. The user flag was in the picture, but there's the root flag. So that's both flags for the Willow. Like, comment, subscribe if you have any questions. Have a good day. Peace.